Hi, good morning, and here we are, week 66, living with Alzheimer's. This week I want to talk a little bit about coping strategies and I suppose learning to cope with Alzheimer's. It seems to be that a lot of people seem to think that us as a family, or me as an individual, I cope better than they do. I hear people who speak to me on occasions, and they seem to think that they're not doing as well as me, that I'm doing really well, and it's all good on the other side of the fence, sort of thing. The reality is, no, you're not alone. You're not the only ones that have difficulty in coping with this condition in this age group. Yes, we don't do too badly now as a family. Me and my wife, my daughter, and the friends around me, we do pretty much okay, but it wasn't always that way. In the early stages of diagnosis, it was a pretty horrific place to be. There was lots of issues. There was lots of dementia was a moving target for us. We couldn't pin it down. We were learning so much. I was learning so much myself. My family were, and they were trying to cope with, I suppose, the ongoing stuff that was going on. And there was so much. A, there was legal stuff to sort out. B, there was me not being able to work so well, forgetting things, and there was just a progression and a long line of stuff to cope with. It probably took us really about a year to adjust, maybe even a little bit longer, but adjust we did. And we've now settled into this canoe that says dementia on it. It's not wobbling in the sea or wobbling in the river anymore. It's going at a fairly gentle pace with the tide. We're letting life drift a little bit. We're drifting in our dementia canoe, if that makes sense. Sometimes on our own, just paddling away. But compared to a couple of years ago, we were heading against the tide, frantically paddling, wobbling about, and overturning quite a few times. But now we've stabilised. And I think that's what people have got to do. They mustn't. Yes, it is a serious condition. There is no two ways about that. And none of us are under any illusions about what it is and what it's going to be. But we have to learn to make the best of it. Let life drift a little bit. And I suppose this is a little bit of advice, and hey, I'm not a professional, but we've found ways around problems. We've looked at problems and we've found solutions, not to all problems, but to a majority of them, which has made life easier. There's technology that can help and all that sort of thing, but also it's just supporting each other. My wife supports me, and I think I support her. Yes, we all have the issues, and dementia affects us all in different ways. But it's having, I suppose, a network of friends over a period of time, and these sort of things don't happen overnight. It takes a little while to get so that you live with dementia, alongside it, rather than against it. So I suppose for all you people out there who think that, you know what, we've cracked it, and we are where we are, and it's all working well for us. Yeah, it works well most of the time, and we do plug the holes in our canoe. We get a few on occasions, and yeah, sometimes we semi-sink a little bit, but you know what? We bail it out, and we're okay. But it wasn't always like that. So if you're in the early stages of diagnosis, or you're going through various complications that go along with this condition, try and find coping strategies, try and find ways around it, try and find ways to live with dementia and not against it. If I could give anybody an advice now, I would say don't worry about next week, tomorrow, next year. Concentrate on now, the here and now. Do the stuff that you want to do. Live, laugh, and do the things that you want to do. And this is a question that has been asked a few times by a few individuals. I hope that this might give you some sort of comfort about living with dementia. The videos over the year or so have been about different areas of dementia and different ways of coping. This is another area of coping. This is living with dementia. Day-to-day stuff. That's the most important thing. Coping with everything day to day. Now I keep looking down here because we got 3 cats here actually, and one cat, it keeps trying to play with the stand where the video is on, and if you can, will you leave it alone? It keeps moving it about, so that's why I keep looking down here, because I'm so afraid he's going to knock it over, but he hasn't. And you know what, that thinks of something. Next week I'm going to put down in my book, because I write little things in my book to try and prompt me for various videos, and next week I'm going to talk about pets, because you know they can be so much fun. They really can. So yeah, so there's a little thing for you. If I remember and if I get it right, next week we'll talk about pets. Have a great weekend as always. Have a great week. And I know that I've just watched last week's video, and it is so good to be back around here. It makes such a difference to be back in my own environment, in my own place, with the pets, there he goes again, with the pets, and yeah, just the stuff that's around me. It's great to be away. It's great to do new things. It's great to do all the raising awareness, but it is so good to be back, sitting here talking to you guys. Talk to you next week. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.